this is part of the core belief. I can do it. So,
Mhm.
I'm capable of being in this job. The second part is of being just an attribute of good salespeople. And I recommend anybody that's thinking about a sales career, write down good things about yourself. Write down what you know about yourself that you can do in order to perform the function of this job. Because when it does get hard, hey, I've sat in my car and wondered if I could do it.
Mhm.
Even after I did it for a while, I know I went through a hard time. My daughter was sick. My wife and I were separated, and my mother had just died. This was in 2004.
Mm.
So I've been doing this job, credit card processing, for 3 years. And I'm sitting there, and I had been salesperson of the month so many times in a row. Um, I was good at it. Was the best in my region. I would think I was ranked number three out of 600 salespeople in the country. I think number one and number two were between Miami and Los Angeles, and here I am in Daphne, Alabama, number three consistently in the country out of 600 salespeople. So I was good at it. And then all of a sudden, my world shakes under me, and I, of course, I had to take some time off to go bury my mom and settle her estate and things like that. And I came back after not really having worked for about a month. And I was on the phone with my friend, and I said, "Man, I just don't know if I can do this anymore." And he kind of gave me this mental slap. He said, "Man, you're crazy." He said, "Let me tell you something. If you can do it 1 month, maybe that's a fluke. If you can do it 2 months, maybe that also is a fluke. But for you to have done it 30 something months in a row and to have been as good as you were, that's no fluke. That's who you are.
Yeah.
You're the best in our region. Go do it. And if you don't feel like it, go through the motions." And I thought, man, that's some of the best advice you can give, because there's times you're just not going to feel like it, and you
Mhm.
just got to get up and get out there and go through the motions. What do they say? Um, Choices lead, feelings follow. You know,
Yeah.
so make the choice to go do what you're supposed to do today, and you should set goals that are more difficult than somebody else. Like going to the gym. If you want to be the best at the gym, work yourself out so that you're lying on the floor at the end in a pool of sweat, and you can't do another rep. That's how
Mhm.
you work out. Well, that's how it should be in sales. Like, make it hard. If your boss says do 30, do 40.
Mhm.
There's this great little book called Cold Calling Success, or Cold Calling Techniques That Really Work. It's a good book. I highly recommend it. And it says, hey, at the end of the day, when you think you're about to close up shop, do one more call. Just do one more sales call, you know? And it's amazing how that one more sales call, if you add up, hey, I just did 5 more sales calls over a week, or 6 over a week, or maybe I did 2 more calls, and that's 10. And over a month or a year, that could equal the 4 or 5 more sales. That
Mhm.
adds to your bottom line. That's a couple $1,000s in income. That's a vacation every year, or a different kind of car, or a better savings account, hopefully, right? So all those things are important. The number two step, and I know I get distracted. I'm a storyteller.
No, you good.
Is I'm a quick learner, right? And I think that in sales, you just need to be able to focus and learn what you're supposed to learn. I would be regrettable about my career in sales if I didn't take the time to learn about my competition. What do they do? How are they doing what they do? Why are customers buying from them? And when they do, what are they saying that makes them great? And that's okay if you steal some of it, right? Because I'm just trying to get better. If my competitor does something better than me, I'm going to adopt it, right? I mean,
Mhm.
isn't that the Hyundai way, right? Hyundai, just like, I think they bought a Toyota Corolla, and they didn't even have a research and development department for a while. I'm not sure if that's a true story, but I heard that they were just, hey, man, we're just going to take apart a Toyota and recreate it and build a car company out of it.
Mhm.
That's a brilliant way. Even if it didn't happen, it's a great story. That
Mhm.
that you can do. Recreate some of the great things that your competitors have done. You can do that in sales management too, by the way. If you're managing and leading people, there's so many great developmental videos and things like that, developmental techniques that you can use to help increase your sales and increase your bottom line. So, um, the number three aspect of can I do it or I can do it is you've got to be a self-starter.
Mm-hmm.
There's a core difference between a salesperson, an entrepreneur, a sales leader, and someone that gets up and does the same job every day for a salary.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't care who that is. It could be a doctor. You could be a doctor making great money, but there's a kind of an, I want to say, animalistic almost desire for someone to go kill and eat what
Yeah.
he kills, you know? Um, and it's a hunter type mentality, and it's different. It's primordial. It's I could never ever, and I worked in a factory for about 2 weeks. I
Mm-hmm.
got a job, and it was the worst job for me that I'd ever. Hey, factory work, we need it. We need them, and I'm proud of people that can do it. But that's not how I'm structured. And what I hated was this. I knew what my paycheck was going to be every single week.
Mm-hmm.
Thank God I got laid off from this job. They hired too many, and I was probably terrible at it anyway. And but I remember being in the break room thinking, I've just done the same thing for 4 hours. I don't even know if I can do it the exact same thing for another 4 hours. This is the most boring work I've ever done in my life.
Mm-hmm.
And I was pretty young when I did that. And so it's just not me. It's not who I am. And you may work at an exciting job, and that's great. And there's a lot of great jobs out there that are exciting that are for you. But if you're a guy that says, I want to go kill and eat what I kill, you need to be an entrepreneur. You need to be in
Mm-hmm.
sales. Um, if you're a guy that's always thinking about the possibilities of more, or gal, I'm sorry if I, but you need to be in sales, right?
Yeah.
You need to be an entrepreneur. And so a great sales pro is someone you don't have to wake up in the morning. Like, hey, whenever it's time to shine, and uh, maybe your sales is in the evening or afternoon. I don't know, but if you're business to business sales in the United States, it's still pretty much 8 to 6 or 8 to 7 or whatever, depending on your time zone. But man, when that alarm clock hits, you don't hit the snooze 3 times. You're
Mm-hmm.
up. You're excited about the day. You've mapped out the things that you've got to do to be successful. And I think that that's something one of the habits that I've always had is just, hey man, I'm going to write down a list of things that I need to do to be a champion tomorrow. Right? What do I need to do tomorrow to make it rain, to make it happen? And I've got
Mm-hmm.
maybe some customer service follow up. Maybe I've got to go close a sale. Maybe I got to go talk to an opportunity or referral that I received. But those are the things that you make a list on. Okay, I planned my day and I mapped it out and I know what I'm going to do. And I'm excited for tomorrow because salespeople are weird. We can live on slivers of hope. Just give me a little crack in the gray, right? In the sunlight. So, yeah, I think that being a self-starter, being excited about the opportunity is what a great sales pro does.